Ever found yourself delaying tasks you know you should be doing? If you nodded your head or maybe even chuckled a little, welcome to the club. Procrastination is a universal struggle, a dance we all perform with tasks we'd rather not face right now. It's like that pile of laundry we ignore until we're down to our last pair of socks. But here's the thing, folks. Procrastination isn't just about dodging chores or avoiding homework. It's a silent saboteur that can impact our productivity, mess with our stress levels, and even put a dent in our overall quality of life. And yet, despite its serious implications, we can't help but treat procrastination with a bit of humor. After all, who hasn't found themselves deep diving into cat videos when a deadline is looming? And now, we're going to delve into the psychology behind why we delay tasks and how to overcome it. Buckle up because it's about to get really interesting. So, what's the science behind our love-hate relationship with procrastination? You see, procrastination isn't just about laziness or poor time management. It's a complex psychological issue deeply rooted in our emotions and thought processes. Let's start with fear of failure. This is a biggie. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head whispering, "What if I mess up?" Fear of failure can paralyze us into inaction. Instead of risking a negative outcome, we choose not to act at all. It's a self-defense mechanism, really. Our brains are wired to avoid pain and discomfort, and failure, well, that doesn't feel too good. Next up, perfectionism. Perfectionists set high standards for themselves, often unreasonably high. They'd rather not do something at all than do it imperfectly. This all-or-nothing mentality can lead to procrastination. After all, if you can't do it perfectly, why do it at all, right? Wrong. Remember, perfection is an illusion. Strive for progress, not perfection. Lastly, let's talk about lack of motivation. Motivation is like fuel for action. Without it, we're stuck. But here's the thing about motivation. It's not always going to be there. It's inconsistent, fleeting. That's why we can't always rely on it. Instead, we need to cultivate discipline. Discipline is what gets you moving when motivation has left the building. So you see, procrastination is more than just putting things off till the last minute. It's a battle with fear, a struggle with perfectionism, and a dance with motivation. But understanding these underlying psychological reasons can help us tackle procrastination more effectively. Remember, awareness is power. By recognizing these triggers, we can start to address them, to challenge them. We can replace fear with courage, perfectionism with acceptance, and lack of motivation with discipline. And in doing so, we can start to break free from the chains of procrastination. Understanding why we procrastinate is the first step to overcoming it. So, let's take that step together, shall we? Now that we know why we procrastinate, let's talk about how it affects us. Procrastination, as it turns out, isn't just about delayed tasks and missed deadlines. It's a ripple effect, and the waves touch every aspect of our lives. Let's start with our mental health. Research suggests that chronic procrastinators often grapple with stress, anxiety, and guilt. The constant cycle of delay, rush, and regret can be mentally exhausting, and over time, it can lead to a real sense of dissatisfaction with oneself. Our physical health isn't immune either. When we're always racing against time, our bodies are in a constant state of high alert. This can lead to a range of stress-related health issues, from sleep disorders to cardiovascular diseases. And let's not forget the impact on our diet. How many times have we grabbed a burger on the run because we just didn't have the time to cook a healthy meal? Procrastination can also strain our personal relationships. When we're constantly behind schedule, we often cancel plans, miss social events, or fail to fulfill promises. This can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and in the worst cases, broken relationships. And what about our professional growth? Procrastination can seriously hamper our career progression. When we're always playing catch-up, we don't have the time to take on new challenges, learn new skills, or simply do our best work. Over time, this can lead to missed opportunities and stagnation. Even at a societal level, procrastination has its costs. Imagine a world where everyone delivers their work on time. Projects would be completed more efficiently, collaborations would be smoother, and overall productivity would skyrocket. But the reality? We're far from it, and procrastination is a key culprit. Clearly, procrastination is more than just a harmless habit. It's a serious issue that needs addressing. So, as we navigate through life, let's remember the true cost of procrastination. It's not just about the task at hand, it's about our health, our relationships, our careers, and our society. And with that understanding, let's strive to conquer this age-old adversary. Feeling a bit worried about your procrastination habits? Don't fret. Here's how you can overcome it. First off, Let's talk about breaking tasks into smaller parts. This strategy is often referred to as chunking. It's like trying to eat an entire pizza in one bite. You'd have a hard time, right? Instead, we slice the pizza into manageable pieces. The same principle applies to tasks. If you have a huge assignment or a daunting project, break it into smaller, manageable tasks. This way, it feels less overwhelming and more achievable. So, next time you're faced with a mammoth task, don't see it as one giant pizza. Instead, see it as a series of delicious, bite-sized slices. Second, setting realistic goals. This is about understanding your limits and working within them. If you set a goal to write a 10,000-word essay in one night, you're setting yourself up for failure and, likely, a serious caffeine overdose. Instead, set achievable goals. Maybe today you research and outline your essay. Tomorrow, you write the introduction. The day after, you tackle the first main point. When you set realistic goals, you're more likely to meet them, and meeting goals boosts your confidence and motivation. So be kind to yourself. Set goals you can actually reach. Next up, rewarding oneself for completing tasks. Everyone loves rewards, right? They make us feel good and motivate us to keep going. When you complete a task, no matter how small, reward yourself. It could be a 10-minute break, a piece of chocolate, or an episode of your favorite show. This creates a positive association with task completion and makes you more likely to do it, so go ahead, treat yourself. You've earned it. Lastly, practice self-compassion. It's easy to beat ourselves up when we procrastinate, but this often makes things worse. Instead, practice self-compassion. Understand that everyone procrastinates sometimes, and it's okay. When you're kind to yourself, you reduce stress and anxiety, making it easier to get started on tasks. So the next time you find yourself procrastinating, don't berate yourself. Instead, take a deep breath, remind yourself it's okay, and then take the first step towards completing your task. Now, these strategies are not a magic bullet. They require practice and patience. You won't overcome procrastination overnight, but by consistently applying these strategies, you can make a significant dent in your procrastination habits. Remember, the key to overcoming procrastination is to start small and be consistent. You've got this. Let's quickly go through what we've learned today. Firstly, we've discovered that procrastination is a universal struggle, and it's not just about being lazy or unmotivated. It's a complex psychological phenomenon that affects us all in different ways. The psychology behind procrastination is rooted in our emotions and our response to perceived challenges or threats. We've learned that the fear of failure or the discomfort of tackling a difficult task can often lead us to delay, and this delay can come at a cost. We've also discussed the impact of procrastination. It's not just about missed deadlines or rushed work. Procrastination can also lead to stress, guilt, and even health problems. It can affect our self-esteem and our relationships. It's not just a personal issue, it can have a ripple effect, impacting those around us. But we've also learned that procrastination isn't a life sentence. We can overcome it with understanding and strategy. We've discussed some practical tips for battling procrastination, such as breaking tasks into manageable chunks, using time management techniques, and addressing the emotional roadblocks that often lead to delay. We've learned that it's not about working harder, but working smarter. The key takeaway here is that understanding your own procrastination habits and actively working to improve them is crucial. It's important to be kind to yourself, to understand that everyone procrastinates sometimes, and that it's part of being human. But it's also important to take active steps to manage your procrastination and to look for strategies that work for you. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. With these insights and strategies, you're now well equipped to tackle procrastination head-on. So, what are you waiting for? Get started today.